Sir, youngsters nowadays are totally different and have various perspectives in interventional therapy, in cardiology coming up. And what are your advice? Just wanted to hear few words of advice to all the youngsters in the country and maybe in the world from you.
Well, certainly. Thank you, Srinivas. And Sushil, great lecture as always, and a lot of practical lessons. To my young colleagues, you know, at this stage in my career, there's nothing that gives me greater pleasure than to be able to interact with the next generation of interventionalists. I think there's never been a better time to be an interventional cardiologist. When I look back over my career, I had very, very limited options and very limited opportunities, and we didn't even have a subspecialty. Now we have training, now we have education, now we have fellowships. Now we've divided interventional cardiology into the basics and coronary work, and then advanced coronary, endovascular, and structural. So the opportunities are endless. So to my younger colleagues, the first thing I would say is that you really need to take the time to understand this subspecialty. I would not rush through your training and assume that you could learn everything in a single year or a year or two. It takes case density, experience, and it takes the influence of many different mentors in order to achieve the kind of operator capabilities to allow you to be independent and to be successful in treating, especially patients with complex disease. So give yourself enough time during your training to become a qualified person. When you go beyond...
You need to give me a cue that we are ready to go, huh? Can somebody pump up all the background before we do anything?
All right, can we mute that line? Can we mute the live case line? Sorry.
Great.
Sorry, Martin.
Okay. Second, I would say that if you're going to specialize, I would not dabble. I would do it with a great deal of effort and concentration. So if you're going to be a structural interventionalist, you need to learn imaging, which is echo and CT. If you're going to be an endovascular therapist, you have to understand vascular medicine. If you're going to do CHIP, you need to be able to understand how to do CTOs. And this takes, again, additional training and additional time. So I think going deep in one area of specialty, I think I would recommend. Even if you're not in an academic medical center, I think it's important for you to keep enriching your career by understanding the literature, understanding the clinical trial process, and applying the lessons of clinical research to clinical practice. So I think that, you know, that's an essential element. So read the literature if you're not going to be writing the literature, and the extent to which you can participate in clinical research, I think it helps to enrich your career. Sharing the information and the experience you have, I think, is critical with your colleagues. I believe that humility and giving back to the profession are extremely important. So I think being able to train others and to be able to work in a very collegial way and not be self-promotional and worry less about finances and quality of what you do, I think are important lessons that you know, many of you should consider. They're going to contribute to the global reach and the global development of interventional cardiology. So I would encourage you to be global participants. You know, never to dream too big, and to have high goals, and to participate as part of the global community of interventional cardiologists. So for all of the young people, you have a very rich and exciting future. And I think you also have many senior colleagues who are very committed to helping you to be able to achieve some of your goals.
Thank you, sir. And we wish we had more time. One word which you mentioned, you may not be remembering when you came to do cases with us in the earlier TCTs. You said what drives you most. You said even to do good things in cardiology, you have to be in leading position. And otherwise, if you are there in some Timbuktu center, nobody will bother about you. Even to do good things, you have to be active and keep doing good work. And that's why you're a source of inspiration to all of us, sir. And before we close, I just wanted to ask, what is the most happiest moment in your life till now?
That's a difficult question. Well, I'll take family out of it, because family is always more important than your professional life at this point. I would say the most exciting thing that I experienced was the success of TAVR. the ability to be able to take a procedure that nobody thought could be done in desperately ill patients and to provide a new therapy that was based upon a lot of experience over many decades and applying many lessons. So I think, and it's still magical for me to watch Sushil deploy a valve and be able to take a critically ill patient and watch them be restored to a meaningful future and be discharged in 1 or 2 days. So I think that TAVR, among all the procedures we've done, for me, has something of a magical appeal to it.
Sushil, any final question you want to ask, sir, before we leave?
No, I mean, I think, Marty, I think all of us struggle a little bit. We're always afraid of missing the next exciting thing, right? That fear of missing out. And you've remarkably transitioned and at different stages and sort of helped learn. And I think one of the things that you've taught me and just is, collaboration and the importance of collaboration and allowing others to grow under you, right? The number of people that you've mentored and grown and taught and helped become leaders in the field is what I find truly remarkable. And how this afraid of people, things going past you, but you've never shown that. You've always let others take the lead on things. And I don't know if I'm asking you a question or not, but I think that is one of the things that I find truly remarkable. And for growth of a field and a specialty, we all learn from each other. And I think that's the one thing you've taught me more that's more important than anything else. And to really collaborate, learn, and that not to be afraid of those around you.
I think that's what is benefiting us, Sushil. And thanks to a collaboration we had with all of you since last more than a decade, Indian community, all the cardiologists are benefiting. Thanks for all the support. One final question, sir. Any unfulfilled desire for you which you want to achieve? You all done. I think you are the most successful man.
I'm never all done. I get bored easily. As Sushil says, I'd like to keep challenging myself and getting out of my sweet spot so I could learn new things. So I think that there are several more new developments that are going to be important in the future. And we've done a great job in structural heart disease. I'm particularly interested these days in heart failure, and I really do think that the transcatheter application of technologies to manage heart failure syndromes is going to be part of the future. So that's one area that I'm focusing on. But there are many things, Srinivas. I think that we all have to keep challenging ourselves, and I hope that we can continue to learn from each other. So thank you, sir. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to be able to visit with you at TCT India South Asia. It's a great meeting, and you are great friends and colleagues, and I cherish the honor to be part of your meeting.
Thank you, sir.